Hi there, Leos. Um, I made a video for you, Leos, but it looks like it is not going to upload because I lost internet yesterday. So instead, I'm just going to hit the refresh button on your career reading and start with a brand new career reading, new energies, new career reading. It wasn't meant to be for the last one, so that's all right. Um, So this is going to be kind of like some insight into what's going on with you in regards to your career. Um, obviously, um, starting off with this card here, Kundalini Shakti. Okay, and this is a man and woman, like a god and goddess type of energy. Um, and I just feel like what's kind of happening for you right now is you're like sort of trying to figure out where it is that you sort of blend or mesh or fit in when it comes to career and what your official title is going to be. And I feel like you don't even really have like an official title. It's more, you don't really like putting labels on things. So when it comes to gods and goddesses or man and woman, you're kind of just like fluid. Like you're like a blend of just different energies. There's divine feminine, there's divine masculine, there's yin, there's yang. And you're somewhere in the middle there, okay, when it comes to your career. Um, and then I also have for you the Kamala Devi, okay? And it's actually interesting enough, the word Kamala means lotus flower, okay? So I feel like you're kind of leaning toward that lotus flower energy. You know, you're very you're transformative. You can push through the mud and the muck and come out blossoming, brand new and beautiful and spectacular and wonderful. And it's really truly a magical thing to see how your career is transformed over the years. And even if you're just starting out trying to figure out what it is that's, your dream job, or what you want to be when you grow up, I mean, you already probably know, you already probably had a vision in your mind. But it's kind of just like blossoming and growing, and you're watching it. And it's so beautiful because, you're never too old to start figuring out what it is when you want what it is you want to do when you grow up, like maybe when you were younger you're like, I'm gonna fight for justice, and then as you got older you're like, okay, fighting for justice, but what job field, is it working at McDonald's, is it working as a nurse, is it running for president? Like there's so many different avenues and pathways you can find and discover. Okay, so I am getting the full energy here, okay, because you're on a journey, you're manifesting your dreams and your desires, and you are really being called to action to show up and um, speak up, and voice your opinions and really manifest your heart's desires when it comes to your career. So it's really not so much the job title, it's more so um, what you do with that job title, okay? Here's a really cool quote, a little snippet of words here from Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. We have Luke, what's in there? Yoda, only what you take with you, okay? So, that's when Luke's like, oh, do I go into the like cave or whatever, right? And he's scared, and he goes in there. I'm not going to tell you what he sees in there, but basically, it's very symbolic to what he must face and what his journey is all about. And I feel like you're kind of, going through those stages right now. Okay, Leo. Um, let's see here. We have awaken your inner magic spread. Okay, and this is your current situation, is this full energy. Okay, and I feel like you might be dodging bullets here, okay? Blocking negativity, escaping crazy people, and protected by haters, right? So you're dodging things. You're dodging these negative energies that are trying to postpone your progress and push you to fail or not succeed, right? So it's a little bit of your own, it's a little bit of your own, self-doubt. And also, this is more relationship wise, but I was just watching the finale for The Bachelorette, and I was not expecting that finale at all. I feel so bad for Jen. And Devin, obviously, you're a creeper. You're a crazy person. Um, but I just find like that show really blends like professionalism and relationships, and like, it doesn't show the like behind the scenes, when Jen's in sweatpants and, Devin is like texting her and he's at a club partying or whatever. Okay. So definitely recommend watching that. But you know what? Like, it shows that like people put on a facade or a face, or they show up and represent a certain look or a certain part of themselves. But we're not all just like two-dimensional. We're not all just one-dimensional either. Like, we're like fourth dimensional. We have all these different layers to us. So some of us could probably even tap into like this fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th dimension. Okay, I'm not going to get into dimensions. I'm just trying to say that like, as the full energy sort of wakes you up to this new journey that you're on, just realize that like, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. So even though I feel like for your career, I feel like the journey, I'm gonna have to do relationship videos after this, but for the journey part of this, it's like, it's about what you learned along the way, or how you showed up for yourself along the way. And that goes for every aspect of your life, including your career, because your career isn't going to just stop being a part of who you are. It's not going to stop making you believe in yourself, but you have to like love and nurture that part of yourself. And I feel like that gets lost along the way, because you're busy with your relationships, or you're if you're, you get so focused on relationship status, or you get so focused on building connections with people, because there's something they offer that you think you're lacking, and that, you can, there's so many different things. But when it comes to your career, though, this is like that part of you that gets you going, that's your drive right there. And it's good to have that, it's good to remember that feeling. So the Fool card is kind of like ground zero one, ground zero, starting off fresh, clean, new slate, brand new. Okay, so we're going to take a look here at the Fool card and see what's going on here with that. Okay, let's see. Okay, so the Fool is the archetype of the child. Each step brings you closer to your destiny. The Shadow Witch takes her first step into the dark wood. A leap of faith is required. The timid say it is foolish to enter darkness, sans light map, or direction, yet the Fool carries on with equal parts faith and ignorance. She tosses all preconceived judgments aside. The Fool acts as her own best interest. The Fool is a whole and complete agent of herself. She operates outside societal norms. She is not affected by the opinions, judgments, or advice of others. She is blessedly unaware of irrelevant prying eyes and speculation. Her wholeness is sublime. Each step unravels her perfection. The Fool begins her journey. The end is the beginning. The beginning is the end. Her head tilts toward the sky, reflecting optimism and pleasure in the present moment. Her tattered clothing reflects an individual operating outside the realm of polite society. She travels free from convention and obligation. Her bag contains past lives, karma, and experiences. The white rose in her hand is as a symbol of purity and love. The black cat reflects feline magic. The fox is cleverness. The spider is a master storyteller. And the creeping lizard is passion and fire. The card is our human connection to the animal and spirit world. The jagged cliff generates with each step. The Fool walks in safely. Meaning, a leap of faith, acting impulsively, foolishness, echoing freedom, acting in self-interest. A grand adventure, optimism, youth. A journey only you can take. The road is yours, alone, acting impulsively, complete trust, innocence, the beginning of a new cycle. A door opens, the adventure begins. The shadow aspect, purposefully acting childish, avoiding reality because you'd rather not face the truth, feigning ignorance to get out of sticky situation, playing dumb on purpose, running away rather than facing responsibility. Okay, so Leo, I don't think you're running away from responsibility. I think you're fully aware of your responsibilities, and that's why you know that you're dodging these bullets, right? You're like, the bullets might be coming at me, the haters might be coming at me, but I'm gonna put a stop to that, right? So, um, you know, you have to remember that, like, there's always going to be some kind of conflict, right? There's always going to be some kind of thing that's pulling you this way and pulling you that way. But you have to stay centered in knowing what it is that you want to do and your goals and your focus on that and your pathway forward. Because as much as, like, Leos, you want to help people and you want to be their strength and their core and their rock, you have to also remember that you're not always going to be able to show up for everyone else. So you have to at least be able to show up for yourself. Okay. I am seeing caught a case. Yeah, I feel like these, other energies out there, like, are just, they caught a case of, something nasty. And it's a good thing that you're not really being around them and things like that right now, because it's just like being around them isn't going to help you any. And I just watched this really weird show on, like, it was like occulty kinds of kindness, and the last little short of the movie was like there was some weird like cult thing where like they got infected and like it was in their water, their sweat, and it was just like so weird. And I feel like for you, it's like these people that aren't really understanding you and your career and your path and all that other stuff. That's because they're dealing with some nasty, like cult, like just weird behaviors that aren't really, um, helping them any, and they're victimizing, and they're also trying to make victim out of you, whether consciously or subconsciously, and you just have to kind of stay clear of all of that, um, because I am seeing like this freedom here, and the woman is cutting up the scissors for her like ex. Okay, so if your ex is trying to like get in the way of your career or something like that, I would not entertain your ex. I wouldn't let him or her know what you're about or what you're doing. I would just stay clear of them and block them as much as possible, because your freedom for you to have your career and express yourself and make a living, and have some stability for yourself is not, it's somehow related to your ex getting in the way of that. Okay, because I also see like, this ex of yours could have like an STD or something, and you not know about it, and they're trying to get back with you. And if you get sick, that could affect your work performance. So I would just stay clear of them altogether. Um, yeah, because there's going to be some trials and tribulations, and I feel like you deserve someone better anyway. It's easy to say like all our relationships aren't going to affect our work or get in the way of our career or whatever, but like honestly, like that could happen. But I do see like someone new who's like healthy for you, who supports you. The number 17 trials, that person's going to be like way more supportive, way more loving, way more caring and nurturing. But this is coming in the future. So you have to, don't get back together with your ex, because it's going to affect your freedom. And here the woman is wearing a necklace with a bird on it. Okay, like fly free, little birdie. And then here, the woman here is actually like playing with with the guy. He has like a necklace around his neck, and she's playing with it. Whoa. So there's something going on here with your relationships that's affecting or it could affect your career if you don't stay focused. So stay focused on your work and, don't let your ex interfere with your work. Okay. Um, yeah, witch's hat. Express yourself, share your gifts with the world. Okay. Put on your career hat there, your witch's hat there, and get to work. Alrighty. Because I'm getting Queen of Swords energy too. Is like you've been contemplating this for a long time. You have been waiting for this opportunity for a long time. So any type of backward movement isn't going to serve your full journey energy. Okay, it's going to hinder you and keep you prohibited. Yeah, neglected. I failed to give you what you need. Yeah, I think that is really kind of your ex is just failed to give you what you needed and they neglected you and your needs. Okay, like emotionally abandoning you. Um, and this is like just from worldly experience going on here. It's really important that you don't, you know, put your career on the sidelines so that you can be with somebody. If someone's asking you to like push aside your career goals and your career opportunities so that you can focus on their needs and their stuff, that's really toxic behavior and it's gonna affect your career. So stay clear of that energy, okay? And when they say neglected, it's because they're not supporting you and they're asking you to support them, but they're not supporting you, right? So that's why you're like, no, dodging those toxic bullets there. Okay, now we have the card number 2 that is magical gift. This is your magical gift, okay? And this is the magician energy, okay? So your gift here is the magician, the beautiful magician energy, okay? So, and as above, so below, okay? So you have so many talents and so many gifts already and skills. You could fill like a whole book full of your skills that you've acquired when it comes to your career. So that being said, make sure that you actually are taking care of yourself. Okay. So let's see here. Okay. I feel like reading you this little story, maybe after. Okay, the magician is the archetype of magic and sorcery. All the magic of the world resides inside you. White flowers as pale as the moon blossom and release puffs of sweet, sugary pollen toward the shadow witch. She inhales deeply and stops to consider who would cast such a powerful flower spell. The hooting of an owl directs her attention toward an old woman. A crone stands at a ceremonial table. The shadow witch wonders if she is looking at a vision of her future self. Everything she meets inside the wood is part of who she is. None of us are actually separate from each other. The witch is the magician, and the magician is the witch, just as you are the shadow witch, and the shadow witch is you. The magician stands in a posture of enchantment, breathing life and energy into the wood. She points her right arm to the sky, the spirit world, the place of inspiration and ideas. It represents your highest potential. With her left hand, she channels acute energy through her like a lightning rod. Grounding the electricity to the earth, she could direct this power anywhere. She is the conduit and literal embodiment of 3 worlds we live in: upper, spiritual, middle, material, and lower, subconscious. Yeah, that's like those dimensions I was talking about. Like, this is a perfect way of describing it here is, the 3 worlds. We have your spiritual world, and your middle world is material, and then your lower world is your subconscious. So each of us is an energetic channel. Her flowing gray hair symbolizes the magician's life experience and wisdom. She never blocks, disrupts, or disparages the natural flow of energy with harmful self-hate, negativity, or feelings of unworthiness. She focuses on the present and never looks to the past or the future. Like a flower or bird who never stops to think about what it did yesterday or what it will do tomorrow. Her presence keeps her in step with natural magic. She is the energetic filter of the creative life force who ignites all things by the power of her attention. True magic is not the manipulation of other people, places, or events, but the ability to master the self. Real magic teaches you to control your inner experience. If you allow it to out, the outer world will rearrange itself in ways you couldn't even imagine. The magician separates herself from her thoughts, swords, emotions, cups, and desires, wands, and the trick of the material world, pentacles, by becoming a silent, active observer. She follows the path of least resistance. The magician pays attention and stays open to the signs, omens, and messages. She knows when to apply pressure and when to back off. She does not fear the unknown. She embraces it. She knows she is who creates her reality. She seeks what is seeking her. Yeah, and that's all the full energy too. Is like you're seeking this magician energy. You're seeking your gifts and your talents, and you're doing that really, really well. The owl is a magical omen, a symbol of clairvoyance and astral projection. Owls are nocturnal creatures who see what others do not. Tarot cards are spread across the magician's table because tarot is a gateway into the historic arts. The table is carved with the magician's axiom, as above, so below. What is true for the world is true for us, and what is true for us is true for the world. We exist between shifting polarities, but all is actually one. The world is not outside of you, it is inside. Two triple spiraled pre Celtic Triskelion symbols are engraved on her table, reflecting the creative principle of the universe. A lemon skate floats above her head. It is, it is the symbiotic flow of life energy and dynamism that makes life possible. Her dress is singed at the waist by a snake eating its own tail. It is an alchemic symbol reminding us of life's energetic circle. Nothing ever disappears, it simply changes form. Meaning, charisma, dynamic personality, working wonders, ability to take action, purposeful magic, asserting one's will over the self, supreme self governance, the ability to realize one's full potential, activity and intention, clear and conscious goals. The maniacal need to control all things, interfering with other people's business, manipulation of others for a false sense of power and for personal entertainment, showing off to inflate a sense of personal value, purposefully pushing someone's buttons and seeking reactions and chaos. Yeah, so in your career, okay, you're going to meet people who are always going to need to control things, right? A very over controlling boss, over controlling coworkers, um, manipulating, power for entertainment and, showing off, pushing someone else's buttons and seeing reactions and chaos, blah, blah, blah. Like all that negative stuff, blah, blah, blah. Okay. You don't want blah, 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 negative, right? You want the clear and conscious goals. And okay, the ability to realize your potential, okay, ability to take action, okay, working wonders. That's your magical gift, is to work wonders, right? Is to work around or through or over or under toxic manipulative people so that you can set your goals and have that infinite energy of abundance and prosperity coming into your life with the um, magic 8 symbol, right? Okay, this is your life and energy. Okay, this is how you make things possible. Okay, and the snake eating its own head, that's obviously like people are going to eat themselves, right? They're gonna do stupid things to themselves. You are not going to do that though. You're a reminder of like not to do that. That's kind of like your job, right? It's like I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna sabotage other people, and I'm not gonna try to sabotage myself. I'm just gonna go with the natural flow and ebb of the universe and see what happens, right? So, and it's a very masterful skill, and it's a very rare skill. So, when you're thinking about using that in your career and applying it's gonna show because you're trying, right? You're doing something. You're actively pursuing the next goal and the next goal and the next goal until you have it all and you're like, okay, now I got it. And now you're like a professional, right? Now you're really doing what you love and you're making money doing it and you're thriving and you're succeeding. Um, the warning there is that if other people are going to use your gifts against you, and that's kind of like what I've seen recently is, especially with the crazy ending in Bachelorette. It's just obvious to me that, like, because that show comes across as, like, a romantic show, but it's actually, like, a lot of people being super profesh and romantic, that's kind of hard to do. It's kind of hard to master. So there is room for things to go, you know, go off the rails there. But you have to remember that, like, at the end of the day, like, it's really your journey and your process of how you came to this conclusion and how you succeeded and how you failed. And I don't think you should look at any of your, what some other negative hater people will say is your failures, like your ex, or, maybe your old boss or something like that. You know, there's room for um, you to, like, see that, like, well, I'm gonna try to be the best person I can be each and every day and show up for the people I love and the people I care about. And that's gonna just move mountains. That's gonna just, that's gonna set the pace, right? That's gonna go as far as, you can cast the net there. It's your energy is going to be, like, released, and then what you get back is that the good things that you get back from that are showing you, like, this is what you deserve, like, this is the universe giving you that answer that you're looking for. Because the Fool is, like, looking for answers, right? She's out there on the path trying to figure things out, right? Not really labeling herself as any specific title, right? But the title the universe is giving you back, when you ask, like, what are my gifts, universe? What is my meaning here? What is my purpose? Your purpose is this magician. Your purpose is to bring magic into the world, and you do so by rejecting the negativity and the toxic jerks and, the toxic environments, and rejecting that as the status quo, and rejecting that as the norm, and saying, you know what, I deserve more. I deserve better. And you put that out there, you make that a reality for others. Now, how can I apply my magical gift to the situation? We have High Priestess energy. This is how you're going to um, apply your magical gift to the situation. Okay, and it says tarot on there. Okay, so maybe you're going to be picking up a deck of tarot cards and starting to read tarot. I don't know. It might not be so literal, but either way, this High Priestess tarot reader here is going to tell you how you can apply your magical gifts to this situation. Okay, the High Priestess is the archetype of the authentic self. You are the divine whisperer of the universe. The shadow witch feels water tickle her toes. She wonders if she's wandered into a puddle or a stream. Silky liquid floods the path. Gaping trees groan as they teepee in toward each other, their branches reaching high for a full moon they will never touch. Lunar sparkles glisten across the deluge. Out of the mist and moisture a figure takes shape. The luminous presence of the High Priestess rises before the shadow witch. The High Priestess holds a scroll and silently unrolls it. The word tarot appears. This is the book of your life, containing every possibility, every imaginable outcome. It is ever-changing and all-encompassing. The High Priestess is the blueprint of your soul and the pure authenticity of the self. She is everything you were, are, and will be. She is your container of soul knowledge. She is inner wisdom waiting to be revealed. She is your ebb and flow, the cyclical energy of your life. Two trees enclose the High Priestess from either side, reflecting the dual polarities we move between in the material world. This is dark and light, awake and asleep, highs and lows, and all shades in between. The dark wood's initials are carved in the bark, marking the threshold into the wood's innermost secrets. What treasure is locked away inside of you? The High Priestess' secret is silence. Silence is the space of manifestation. Silence is the space of infinite possibility. It is the expansiveness containing all four elements. Silence is the space between the cards in a tarot reading. Sort out what is meaningful to you and sow your intentions inside silence like seeds in a garden. The High Priestess dress dissolves into water because she is the front of all waters, found within the tarot deck. She is lunar tides, rushing rivers, the lady of the lake. She is the amniotic fluid. Oh, that's another great show to watch. The Lady in the Lake on Apple TV. Okay, I had to insert that in there. She is the amniotic fluid that sustains you. The High Priestess is your special details, your likes and dislikes, your talents and fascinations. The full moon rises above her head while a waxing moon is strung around her neck, reflecting her lunar connection to the cyclical nature of the seasons in your life. Who you are spills out naturally. When you are true to yourself, she is the subtle self who becomes stronger while acting in alignment with universal forces. She is a space beyond word, image and sound. She is the knowing that extends outward into the ever expanding, ever unfolding you. Silence, secrets, darkness, evolution of the soul, the blueprint of your personality, talents, and traits, a deep knowledge and third eye vision, activated intuition, lunar cycles, inner knowledge, personal authenticity. Self indulgent and self centered can be the negative side of this, narcissistic, okay, like your ex, obsessed with self, your ex, an exaggerated sense of importance, excessive need for admiration, lack of empathy, distrust, and inability to follow its own inner voice. That sounds like your ex to me. So, your personal authenticity, okay, who you're meant to be, who you truly are. These are all the things that make you you, okay? So, whatever you do going into the month of September and moving forward and everything, just remember that, like, you are a beautiful, wonderful, amazing person that's very talented, and your ability to see past the bullshit and see right straight to the truth is very rare. Okay, not everyone can do that. And even when you are somebody who is like really devoted to your career, and you're really devoted to helping others, and somebody comes along and, like, has that, oh, help me, I'm a victim type, personality, just kind of take this with a grain of salt, that, like, they might be playing you. They might be trying to manipulate you, like your ex, right? So, knowing that moving forward and going ahead, just know that, like, it's okay to say no to people. It's okay to put a stop up to things. It's okay to take a pause and reflect and wonder what your next move is going to be, or your goals are, before you move forward with that relationship or that person. And especially when it comes to your career, because this could be looking for a new job. This could be, trying to advance your career by taking classes and things like that. So you want to be careful and cautious as far as, like, how much you're putting forward and how much is being returned. So kind of take what you had experienced in your relationships, and kind of apply it to your career too, because you're going to see those things reflect back on your career. And it's interesting to notice the synchronicity of that is that, like, if you have a really toxic ex and they always lure you in, they always get you feeling sorry for them, and then you have a really toxic boss that you keep working for, notice the similarities in that and see if you can kind of pull lessons from your relationships into your career, and vice versa, because it's really going to play a huge role in how far you become successful and in your career. And if you're not so concerned with, like, not everybody's goal is to end up in a long-term relationship or get married or whatever. Some people, like, they're like, nah, that's not for me. I'm going to be single forever, whatever, you know. But just say, like, even if you're going to be single forever, just know that what kind of person you are showing up to be for yourself, and what kind of person you're showing up is, well, what kind of person is showing up for you, right? Because if you have a boss, or you have, a teacher or coworkers, or people who are really invested in you, or you're invested in them, how are you both getting what you deserve out of it, right? There has to be, like, a balance. So if you're getting what you want out of your career and where you're currently working, yay. But if you're still questioning things, which the Fool and the Magician and High Priestess card tell me you're, like, still, like, but I'm still not 100% convinced that I know this career is for me, but maybe the job environment needs to change. Maybe the boss needs to change. Maybe maybe your ex popping up is reminding you of, like, wow, like, this is, like, my ex is like, well, maybe there's something else in my life that is, like, making room for this ex to pop up, right? You're like, I don't want my ex popping up, right? Maybe they know you are maybe feeling like in a time of not weakness, but, like, you're in a vulnerable place right now. So they might want to like try on that or play on that a bit. But you know, don't let them. Don't let them interfere with what you got to do. Okay, that's what I have for you. Love and light always, Leos. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.